are listening to WHOA Podcast, coming to you from Gainesville, Florida. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the WHOA GNV Podcast, the podcast bringing you magic, wonder, and holiday cheer that makes you go, whoa! I'm your holly jolly host, Colin Austin, and my co-host is the merry Mr. Michael Dees. What is up, man?
I'm so happy.
I'm so excited. Oh, you guys, I cannot wait to introduce our guests. This is going to be this is like a dream come true for me. I have been, who knew that it would be starting a podcast that would make this dream come true, but you guys, it has happened. It is the day Colin's dream comes true right here in this hour. You guys, today on the show, all the way from the North Pole, the bringer of gifts, wrangler of reindeer, king of candy canes, and father of Christmas, along with his better half, please welcome Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus to the show. Welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for making the time to be here.
Oh, thanks for asking us down, Colin.
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. I mean, so today, podcast fam, we're recording. It's November 19th. We asked Santa, hey, we got the December 23rd episode. It's going to be a couple days before Christmas, but he's made the trip here about a month in advance to come visit us here on the podcast. I got to think that you are crazy busy right now.
Oh, yes. Tell me about it. Working the elves up to the North Pole and, trying to get all the lists from the children here, particularly here in Florida. I like it here in Florida. It's nice and warm.
Yeah. And Mrs. Claus, you got to keep him in shape during this time, or what?
He's a full-time job.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Lots of care, attention, and feeding, and then of course there's this little army of elves that lives with us. They all need care and attention and feeding, and somebody's got to check on the reindeer.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's a menagerie. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, I was reflecting back to the last time I saw you guys in person, because I know you're at my house every Christmas Eve. But, I go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
10
Especially on Christmas Eve.
10 at the latest on Christmas, So, but we did a Night for Tykes event here at Jolie downtown.
Yes, I remember.
Back in 2012. Remember that? That was a lot of fun.
7 years ago, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we teamed up with Fracture during that event.
Yeah.
And it's
hard to believe it's been 7 years.
I was because I was just sitting, I'm like, when was that? That was a long time ago. So, well, goodness. Well, I'm so glad to see you again and to have you here today. I'm channeling my inner Buddy the Elf.
Good. Always need another elf.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we have got a ton of questions.
Okay.
And I want to prepare you right now because, I use this tool that I love called Facebook. And I jumped on Facebook, and I'm like, all right, Gainesville family, listen up. Tell those kids that I have Santa and Mrs. Claus in the studio tomorrow morning. Send me your questions. And
oh boy.
I mean,
they did not disappoint.
They did not disappoint. I have probably 4 pages, three complete pages here of questions for you.
And he had 3 or 4 pages himself. So.
This is true. And I mean, and we polled everybody in the office as well. So I mean, we got some good stuff. But I wanted to do this game that I brought you, right?
This is my Christmas present from Buddy this year.
Yeah, so for everybody that's listening, we have these. I bought Michael these blow up antlers. This is great, and they have rings. It's a ring toss game. So and we asked Santa and Mrs. Claus if they'd participate and see if they could throw the rings across the room onto the reindeer antlers. This is exactly why this is a video podcast. I want everybody to understand, this is why we record it, because if you are just listening on iTunes or Spotify or SoundCloud, wherever you listen to, you are missing out on the video version of this podcast, because I am dressed like an elf and Michael's wearing
all kinds of things.
And so we're gonna. Who wants to go first?
Am I straight up and down here?
Not yet.
Yeah, no, you're doing pretty good.
All right. Lean it forward a little bit.
There you go. Okay.
All right.
Just chuck them one at a time.
Ladies first. Okay.
Oh, Oh, so close.
A near miss.
Oh,
Yeah, that felt good.
That's not fair. He used Santa magic.
He used the magic. First try. Oh.
You tried. You really tried.
Oh, that was so close.
Let's see.
You got the frisbee action, though. The frisbee action. Oh, that was so close. Oh, hey, you know what? That was good effort, though.
We have to say there are no live animals damaged in this production.
That's the winner, though.
And I don't treat the reindeer that way. So.
Not ever.
This is, that was fun. Thank you for entertaining me on that. I mean, that was really just because I wanted to see Michael wear those reindeer
I'm glad I didn't disappoint you.
You did not disappoint.
He made him look really good.
So, I think we should just get straight into the questions.
Sure,
because
let's
there's so
go for
many.
it.
And at first I was like, you know what? Like, we don't want to absorb too much Santa's time because, both of you guys have got a lot of work to do for the Christmas season. And I'm like, we'll try to keep it to a half hour. And then I saw the questions. I was like, okay, just prepare yourself for a 3.5 hour podcast. And but we'll try. We'll try to keep it within the hour. I mean, we got everything here. We got the hot chocolate, the cookies. I mean, we are all set for this. So, I'll start. You want to just kind of go back and forth on some of these questions?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to go back and forth on some of these questions. And my first is, all right. So I remember my mom. Okay, this is like a personal one for me. I remember my mom always saying, you know what? Like, if you don't behave yourself, like I'm gonna call Santa. Like I'm gonna let him know, like, and you're gonna get a lump of coal in your stocking. and I remember this, and I'm trying. I just really want to know how many chances, because I always felt like sometimes I was very, very close to being like right on that edge. You know,
the cusp of naughty or nice.
Like, was it one more time being bad that would like throw me over the edge, or like how many chances do I actually get? Is there like a set number, or is this like a macro, like? Lifetime, like, oh well, maybe it balances out with the year before because he was really good that year. Like, I'm just trying to grasp a complete understanding of this.
There's not a real set number. We don't like to give out a lot of coal. It's pretty nasty to burn, and it affects the atmosphere, and it's expensive. Okay. So
yeah, I was about
it's gotta be heavy too.
Usually what happens if you're really not good, you get underwear.
Okay. So underwear is the new version of coal.
Yeah, new version of coal.
I mean, it's lighter.
Man, I got a lot of underwear growing up. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's starting to explain stuff.
There are a lot of children that look at their fathers when I say that. So, Dad.
It's all starting to make more sense now.
I know.
This is crazy.
Here I thought I was on the nice list all this time.
All right, so Michael, what's
all right, so I'm already fascinated. If we're a month out from Christmas right now, and this is, typically this podcast runs a little business oriented. You must have some really good secondary leadership up there. Things have to be going really smooth for you to be able to get away and come and do this podcast with us. So who's running things to make sure everything goes well?
The elves are running things, and they've got the head elf that takes care of most of the things. A lot of times Mrs. Claus has to go back and kind of put oil on the waters and kind of calm them back down again and bake them some more cookies. Cookies are very important to elves, as they are to Santa.
I mean, is that the secret to like the workload though, is just keep them filled with sugar?
Yeah, that's it. Keep them hyped up.
I mean, I'm trying to take notes here because I'm like, man, if this is all it takes, I'll just give cookies to the team all the time.
It works.
And like keep them sugared up. Go, 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 go.
Yeah. It's a bit like training a dog. You want a hungry dog to train. So.
Okay. Hey.
But they do well. They do very well.
Okay. I mean, do you have to start the day that you get back? I mean, does it start on the 26th for the next year, or do you take a vacation? Is there a break somewhere? Like
we take a vacation, particularly that week after Christmas, and we kind of get started back pretty early in January. But yes, we move on all the time. The elves get breaks all during the year sometimes because there's plenty of them to fill in.
Okay.
But we don't get as many breaks. We do like to come down and visit with children, though. That's one of our favorite things.
Yeah, I mean, so with next week, I mean, we're recording this. Today's November 19th. Next week is Thanksgiving, technically. Like, are you going to eat some turkey, take a little break on Thanksgiving Day?
On Thanksgiving Day, yes.
Yeah.
But, then after that, I'm visiting children again. So.
Okay. Wow. Crazy stuff. Mike, what you got?
I have to know, Mrs. Claus, what's the best and worst part about being married to Santa?
Okay, first of all, I'm married to the kindest man in the world. You just don't get better than someone who adores children, takes presents, is known everywhere for his generosity. Yeah, this is really, really good. On the other hand, he's a bit of a peacock. So there's a lot of maintenance. He's got this gorgeous white hair. It has to stay shiny and white. Yeah, he doesn't need any. He's a healthy guy. He doesn't need a whole lot of attention otherwise, but keeping him groomed and primed to get out there and go. Yeah, it takes a little thought. Okay. Me too.
So, like, every child wants to know, like, is there a favorite reindeer?
Oh, that's hard.
Not
Is it
really.
like your children? You can't play favorites, but
yeah. No, it's everybody likes Rudolph the best. All the children do, and he's kind of a favorite. He's gotten me out of a jam or two on foggy nights. But, but they're all they all work hard and they're really really good. So not really a favorite.
Don't have a favorite. All right.
What is your favorite type of cookie?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What is your favorite type of cookie?
Those ones from Publix. The frosted ones.
Oh, I like
frosted
those. Yes, I really
it's
like
biting. It's just like little pieces of cake, really.
Yeah, really is.
Yeah.
Mrs. Publix bakes well.
I don't actually have a favorite. I like them all. We have cookies with almost every meal. So, but and usually when children ask me that, what's your favorite cookie? I ask them just like you, what's your
yours?
favorite cookie? Oh, I like those. Those are very good. So,
Gotcha.
And most kids like chocolate chip cookies. Those are excellent.
That seems like a popular choice, and you can't go wrong with a good chocolate chip cookie.
No.
How about milk? Have you gotten into the non-traditional milks yet? Are you still are you dairy whole milk, or or is there any oat milk for Santa Claus?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's really whatever the families like to put out. And some families like skim milk. Some families like whole milk. Some families like alternatives to milk. So it doesn't make a whole lot of difference to me.
So you get a lot of diversity out there.
Yes, I do.
And I'm telling you right now that all the parents listening to this on Monday, December 23rd, are very happy that that's your answer, because
they don't have to go back to the store.
They don't want to do the scramble to the grocery store with Christmas Eve being tomorrow night when this airs out. I gotta get over there, gotta get to the store and get the milk that Santa likes, because man, he said so on a podcast. So
I have to admit, living in the North Pole, you don't get a lot of choice, so you take what you can get.
All right. Hold on, I gotta
get organized.
I gotta get organized here. So how do you hire your elves? Or how because look at me. I think that I would be an excellent elf, and I'm just trying to score a trip to the North Pole. So how can we make this happen?
Are you really looking for a job? I thought you were fully employed as it is.
You can ask anybody here. I obviously don't have. I like to do many things.
Okay.
I like to have my hand dipped in everything. And if I could learn some secrets and tips from you, I definitely think I could be a better leader. So I think a trip to the North Pole it's overdue, to be quite honest.
We'll have to look into that. No, I'll get my HR elf to look into it, see what we can do.
Okay.
So you might have to have all your secrets put on social media if you go. I don't know. That could be a good bad.
Hey man, I would be giving an exclusive behind the scenes look. There would be some great YouTube content. Is all I'm saying. If I was up there, I mean, let's be honest.
Have you ever met the Grinch?
Only briefly.
How did that go?
It was okay. He finally came around at the end of the show. So
okay, okay. I'm just curious. I feel like that would be a very confrontational meeting there.
No, he mellowed out. So
I've always wondered this. There is one extremely important night of the year for you, right?
Yes.
Christmas Eve.
Right.
Like you got to go.
That's gotta move.
Okay. Now, in my business, there's some days where I will wake up I got that migraine. I got whatever. I got a headache. I'm sick. I mean, heck, I get the flu, right? Let's say I get the flu. What happens if Santa Claus gets the flu on Christmas Eve? Like, what's the backup plan? Has it happened before? Has that happened before?
No.
No.
There's something about Santa magic with that. But the backup plan is some of the elves can come help me.
Okay.
Keep me comfortable while we're doing the rounds, and they can help out a lot. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Mrs. Claus, you've never had to go on that trip by yourself to fill in, huh?
Not alone. No.
Okay.
But if something like that happens, it is all elves on deck.
Okay.
There are a lot of books
It's like
out
a
there.
rally cry.
A lot of Christmas books that tell stories about that, and one of the stories about Santa just getting really tired of being cold at the North Pole, and Mrs. Claus and the elves take care of delivering the presents, and at the end of that, she brings him down to Florida for a vacation in a nice warm place.
So is that your go-to vacation spot, Florida? Like coming down
Yes,
here?
absolutely.
Warming up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. There you have it, Florida, baby.
Gotta love Florida. All right, so there's been a lot of iconic toys over the years, like Lincoln Logs and Easy Bake Ovens and Tamagotchis and Furbies and Tickle Me Elmos. I can think of so many. What is is there a favorite toy that you've had, or is there one that you're like, man, I wish this fad would go away. I don't want to deliver another one of these toys.
There aren't any bad toys. There are at least not very many bad toys. And my personal favorites, as you might expect, are kind of old-fashioned. Things like the Lincoln Logs or the Erector sets. On the other hand, if you look at what some of the electronic toys are doing now, they're amazing. So it's there's just a lot of good things out there to do.
A lot of good toys.
Yeah, and a lot of kids want a lot of toys. Some of them come up with very long lists of toys. And I tell them, well, that's a pretty big list. And, you don't always get everything you ask for, but you always like what you get.
Okay.
So.
That's good.
I know they don't always ask for toys, and when we were talking about this yesterday, you had a really good question about what happens if kids ask for animals.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Animals.
so this is an important
rules. Yes.
This is an important question. So I always wondered, because I'm scared to death of it, to be honest. I mean, if my kids, Schaefer and Maddox, they, you know them quite well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
They are very vibrant young boys.
Yes.
And they carry a lot of excitement in their life. I have this fear of them asking for a puppy one day, right? Do you have to get my consent? Do you have to get parental consent for the puppies? Or do you just surprise mom and dad?
Wouldn't that be fun to surprise mom and dad?
Kid's got a new puppy. You just show up. I mean, do you have to get the parental consent on this or
yes,
what?
you really do. Any kind of animal, pet, dogs, cats, goldfish, rabbits, whatever. Anything like that, as becomes a part of the family. And the whole family has to agree to have the pet there.
Okay.
And if it's okay with the whole family, then I'll be happy to bring it. But
It's not. Let's just be very
I'll keep
clear.
that in mind.
Yeah, let's just be very clear. I mean, you and I have been friends for a long time, you guys. Do not bring that puppy.
No puppies.
Well, there are some rules about interstate transportation.
Yes,
it's not safe to put a little puppy in that cold sleigh.
Okay.
That's the long, cold ride. So it would not be a healthy thing to do for the puppies or kittens to treat them that way.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm so glad that there's
Dodged a bullet on that one.
so I'm very excited to hear that. So.
All right, Allison had a really good one too. Allison Muscherino. She wants to know, why does Santa have the same wrapping paper as my mom?
Well, we get this. Sometimes get it at the same store. They also go out and bring things in. Sometimes they print their own. So yeah, it's not surprising.
Just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence. Yeah.
Good.
Your mother just has good taste.
Right. Mom knows how to pick some wrapping paper.
Yes.
There you go.
Is anyone famous on the naughty list this year?
Don't push it.
No.
That's confidential. The naughty list particularly is confidential.
Yeah.
Do you really check the list twice?
Easily, at least twice.
How long does that take?
It takes a while, but with computers, it's a lot easier nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much has that improved, your efficiency?
It's amazing. And cell phones, now instead of having to run back to the North Pole to make sure everything's going all right, I just pick up the cell phone and dial them in. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Well, and we've always got the understanding that even someone who's been naughty might be able to straighten up and make it all right before the big night.
Yes.
So it takes a lot of monitoring to see if they've gotten their act together.
I got to imagine college students are really good at that. wait till the last minute to try to pull it off.
That's right.
You can tell why I got so much underwear.
I did one time receive the naughty list from Sadie Darnell. So.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. There you go. So Harper Spellacy wants to know, like, do you have a house that you like the best?
Oh.
Have you ever been like? No, is there like you have like a favorite house that that you've been in?
They're all nice.
They're all nice.
Yeah, the house is a home, and as Mrs. Claus said, it's the love that fills it that makes the house right. So the ones that are most filled with love are the ones I like the best.
All right, there you go.
Why are there barcodes on toy packages?
Well, the elves have to keep track of things as well as anybody else does, and that just helps them inventory. It helps them get the sleigh packed properly. If they don't pack the sleigh properly, it's really hard to get to the right toys at the right time.
So there's a lot of it, like inventory logistics that has to go on.
Absolutely, yes.
I'd love to. I need to make a field trip up there so we can maybe get our stuff organized a little bit better. see how they do it on that scale. It's got to make it so much easier here.
The efficiency, the processes,
Yeah.
man. Seriously,
Yeah.
we could all learn a lot of lessons.
I can't even keep track of a warehouse full of parts, let alone toys for the entire world. Like,
Well, I don't do it myself. I do have a lot of elves that help with
right,
it.
I need more elves too.
And they're getting to be, much more technology savvy. So,
All right, so this one comes from Jackson Fetro. He wants to know how do you eat so many cookies in one night?
sometimes it's not easy, but I'm working really hard, and I'm burning a lot of calories as I'm going through from house to house.
Okay.
So
it's really the amount of work that you're doing in that one
that's
night.
right. It burns it all off. Yeah. Thanks, Jackson. Good question.
I mean, and do you, like, when he gets back, I mean, is there a special diet that he has to go on? Or, like, what happens on the 26th?
After Christmas, a lot of people look for a low-carb opportunity. So we have to cut back just a little bit.
Okay.
But you can't mistreat Santa. That would be too cruel.
Does Santa have a favorite Christmas movie?
Probably. Of course, Elf.
The very best.
I mean, I'm
With
just
Buddy
over here
sitting
like,
right over there.
hey,
Buddy's like, I know what the right answer is.
I can take the hint. So it's.
I can take that.
I think my all-time favorite movie was really the first the Santa Claus.
Right.
That was very good. It was very accurate and did quite well.
Very accurate, yeah, because I mean, all the kids want to know what happens when you don't have a chimney.
Yes.
Like, I mean, is the magic portrayed in that movie very accurate?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, it is still a movie, but yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is that what happens when there is no chimney, or how do you fit down the chimney? Like, these are questions that we get asked all the time. Like, I think that was a common asked by 2 or 3 different people.
I didn't bring my set of keys in, but I have a set of keys, and one of the keys is the key that works on Christmas Eve. If you don't have a chimney, I use it to get in the front door.
Okay.
I mean,
it's as easy as that.
that's a good idea.
Walk right in.
Yeah, just walk right in. And if you do have a chimney, sometimes chimneys are kind of skinny, and Santa is not particularly skinny. So I have a key that's the chimney stretcher that helps me get in the chimney that way.
Okay.
Chimney stretcher.
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay, so Mrs. Claus, I'll ask you, do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Oh, my. Well, there are so many, but we have a lot.
Not Santa Baby?
That's that's the one. That's the one we sing at home the most. Santa Baby.
It works for me, yeah.
Eartha Kitt did it really well.
She did, yeah.
But and I think when we go to visit children, we sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer a lot.
Yeah,
because all
that's
of them want to know if we know the names of all the reindeer, and it's a chance for us to teach them the names of all the reindeer. So that is always necessary. Yeah.
Awesome.
And Jingle Bells. Everybody loves Jingle Bells.
How about some of the modern ones, like Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You? I always think she's talking about me. Can you tell me if that's true?
It's nice. It is a nice song.
That's confidential. I'm sorry.
No. I was hoping I'd find out.
All right, so got more questions from our child audience.
Oh, goody.
Today. So, Case in Reno has a 2-part question. Well, it has 2 questions, really. I don't think they're related. Let me see. All right. So, 1, what do reindeer eat to fly so fast?
Well, you've seen some of the nice reindeer food you can buy for them, and that's part of it. So it's the oats that you feed them. It's carrots that they get, particularly when they're traveling. A lot of kids leave carrots out for them, and that's a real boost for them. And while they're training and getting ready to come down, they're eating a lot of the lichen up at the North Pole. So it's still just kind of the normal food. But the reindeer food that kids spread out for the kids for the reindeer on Christmas Eve, that's really a powerful food for them.
High protein, good
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Is there a reindeer that's faster than all the others?
They're all tied together. How would you know?
I don't know. I mean, I'm like an internal competition kind of guy. I just like maybe one's slacking a little bit. Like, are you like pick up the pace? Let's go.
No, we don't race them that way. We're not competitive.
So
I was gonna say, are they born knowing how to fly, or do they have to learn that over time? Is there like reindeer flying school, or how do they learn?
Well, they mostly are born with the ability. Obviously, they're special reindeer. They're not just the regular reindeer you go out and herd. But they're very special, and they come with that ability. But we keep the same 9, all the time. So there are backups if we need. If one of them, they can get sick, and I have a couple of reindeer that will substitute, and they work well.
okay. Is there a measurement of speed with the sleigh? Like how fast can the sucker go?
It can. You don't want to talk about it, but it goes real fast.
Real fast.
It goes real fast.
All right. And Kaysen's second question was, how does Santa stay organized to deliver all the toys?
The elves have a big part in that. Like I say, they're now. I'm sending the list back as I'm collecting lists from children, and they're putting down where their addresses are, and they're loading the sleigh in such a way that I can get to the toys that they want, that they're going to get for Christmas at about the time I get to their house.
Okay. And I'm kind of going through the kid questions.
The kids ones, yeah, sure.
You want to ask one?
Well, I was going to ask one, like, did you always know that you were going to be Santa Claus, or was there something you wanted to be when you grew up?
Watch the Santa Claus movie and see.
Okay. I mean, because that was actually like my son Maddox said, how did you become Santa? Like, yeah, I don't. Maybe he wants to be Santa one day. I don't know. Like,
Yeah. No, I don't know. I've talked to adults, particularly when I talk to them about Santa and how Santa does things. And generally, I stop and I ask them, I say, okay, I want all of you guys, particularly out there, to stop and think a minute. When you were a teenager, how many of you wanted to look like Santa? And nobody ever raises their hand.
okay.
So it's something that just kind of grows on you the right way. So.
Okay. There you go.
Are mall Santas, are they more like helpers, or are they more like frauds?
Oh, dear.
Watch it.
They're
Careful.
helpers.
They're helpers.
They're
Okay.
helpers. They send the list up.
Some people have a very negative connotation to mall Santas, so I just want to make sure we clear the air there.
Oh.
Yeah, they have a really hard job. I mean, can you imagine sitting for 8 hours a day, 7 days a week for about 5 weeks, and just doing nothing but taking lists from children? And it's nice to be with the
I
children.
think I can imagine that somehow. Kind of like my job here. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Colin,
tease.
yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but they send the list in very faithfully.
Okay, so McKinley Fetro, how do you fit down the chimney? Okay, we already talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you fit all the presents in your bag on the sleigh?
It's an interesting bag, and we do the best we can. I have thought about, and we may start at some point having some distribution centers around the country, so I can move presents to different places and then pick them up on the way.
So you're always thinking about that efficiency in that process.
Efficiency, yes. You
are
have to do
a
it.
businessman at heart for sure.
Absolutely.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever see going to like drones or anything? You taking notes from Amazon?
We'll see how that works out. That could be quite interesting. Yeah. I don't think it's quite the same thing as having Santa visit your house and leave the presents under the tree for you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So wise. You're so wise, Santa.
Dang.
Maybe that could be what I could do in the future for children who are not so good. Well, I'm not coming, but I'll send a drone.
Send a drone, drop some underwear down the chimney.
Oh, man.
Good ideas here.
The evolution of this. It's, all right. So, I mean, dang. We're solving problems everywhere now. So Wyatt wants to know, how old are you?
How old am I? Let's see. Can I count back? About 1,700 years is when the first St. Nicholas was alive.
1,700 years. There you go. Wyatt, 1,700 years.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to point out that I must not be the first Mrs. Santa Claus. I'm not nearly that old.
You're not. Okay. Now, this is an interesting question. Bryn Maltby wants to know, do you have a favorite kid?
A favorite kid? Yeah, it's the one I'm talking to at the moment.
So right now, Colin's your favorite.
Right now, it would be Colin.
Yes. You're it.
I'm feeling extra special right now.
He's going to be on cloud 9 all day. Santa said I was his favorite.
You heard it here first, folks.
Well, all you guys who work here, take advantage of it. Yeah.
And Karis Maltby had a question. It says, how do you manage to be so quiet when you're coming into the house?
Well, everybody's asleep. And if you look at my boots, they're rubber soles, so they don't make much noise. And usually if there's any dogs or cats, they're very cooperative, especially if I give them a little treat. So, yeah, it's just being very quiet, moving around. You can do that if you try hard.
Okay, and does your suit itch at all? Like,
No. It can get hot down in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is Karis. Karis is going all in here, guys. Do you ever get into fights with Mrs. Claus?
No.
No. Okay.
Never.
We may have some discussions at points. No, I'd really rather have chocolate chip cookies tonight, but you know.
Okay.
Who usually wins those discussions?
Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I'm cooking. I decide.
There you go.
And have you ever done a Christmas Eve trip with Santa? Do you ever go in the sleigh? And
Not often, because once he gets back, it's the time for our big celebration at home.
Okay.
So, we go ahead and crack out the turkey and the stuffing and all those fun things because he's gotten tired and hungry and the elves are worn out. Everybody wants a nice big meal and a nice long nap.
all right. And McKinley actually had one more. She said, how do you not get tired from delivering the toy? Or do you? I mean, at the end of the night, like, are you a puddle of Jell-O or something?
At the end of the night, yes, I'm pretty much a puddle of Jell-O. But
Okay.
But you just keep going. I sleep as much as I can on Christmas Eve during the day. And then at the evening, when I start visiting children, I just keep going. And at the end of the time, yes, I'm ready for a nap. Children have asked me, what would I like to have for Christmas? And I say, I'd like a nap.
All right.
And that's what I usually do.
Is the sleigh is everything like pre-programmed? I mean, I know you got to have a plan, but like, is it like pre-programmed? Like you just know where you're going, boom, 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 because you got to hit a lot of houses in one night, right?
I do. So Rudolph is the main thing with that, but we do have Garmin as the backup just in case.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Technology. Who knew technology played such a part?
It's you got to go with the future is here.
Right. Do you really see me when I'm sleeping and know when I'm awake?
This is
Well, that's
a
what the
serious
song
question.
says, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, I could, but I don't.
Okay, you choose not to.
Yeah.
It's like afraid to see what you might not want to see. Kind of thing.
We respect people's privacy.
I focus on getting the presents put in the right place.
Good.
That's enough.
That makes me feel relieved.
It is just a song after all.
All right, let's see. Yeah, so why the North Pole? Like, why do you live all the way at the North Pole? I mean, wouldn't Gainesville, Florida just be way more convenient for you? I don't know if you've heard the big piece of this podcast, but we're trying to use this podcast to recruit, businesses and talent to Gainesville.
Yes.
Why don't you bring this skill set here?
It's a little hard to keep the elves happy and out of sight. They're very shy. You don't see them very often. That may be one reason you might not make it at the North Pole.
Okay.
And so having a place that's populated, heavily populated, would be very difficult to get everything done.
Yeah, it's probably a huge distraction too.
Yeah.
Gator football and everything else.
Yeah. And
could you just imagine the stadium filled with 90,000 elves?
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I know, right? And everybody's wondering why the Christmas presents weren't ready this year. And it's because the elves fell in love with Gator football.
That's right. Oh, we'll move Christmas to the 26th this year.
Need that extra day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, have there been any days where you're looking at your watch and you're like, oh my gosh, are we gonna make this? Are we gonna make this deadline?
It always gets to be a concern near the end of the Christmas Eve, yes.
Okay.
But so far, I haven't had any trouble. I've managed to get through.
Okay.
Are you going to mention the extra key? Because if all else fails.
There's a backup plan.
The extra key.
One of the set of. There's always a backup
the
plan.
Secrets, man. I love it.
Yeah,
being exposed right here.
I already told you about two of the keys I have: the chimney stretcher and the one that gets in the front door. But there's another key too, and it's the key to the sleigh. And what you do is you take the key and you put it in the sleigh, and you turn it halfway and pull it out a little bit, and that stops time. And that way I can catch up if I need to. But I don't usually have to do that.
If I could burn.
Oh God. Buddy's going share on us.
That's incredible. Mm-hmm. I wish I could stop time.
So are there people that have lived their whole life never making it on the naughty list?
They've had bits on the naughty list, yeah. I don't think anybody gets through being completely good all the time.
Okay.
At least not any human. Not any human.
What year was it when I was on the naughty list?
I
can't remember.
One man asked me, said one time, why didn't I get that bicycle when I was 13? And I looked at him, I says, and were you good the year you were 13? He said, oh, never mind.
He knew before he asked.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Is there a specific year that there was more people on the naughty list than ever?
The teenage years are probably the most difficult.
Okay, so people are consistently on the naughty list.
They
struggle
when they're teens.
They find themselves moving in that direction. Do they get there? Occasionally they do, but...
Well, and the naughty list is fluid. You can get yourself off the naughty list.
Yeah, what's that take?
I think
everybody wants to know.
We can all take advantage of forgiveness. We can ask to be forgiven.
Okay.
And the people the brothers and sisters that we have beaten up on, and the moms that we've been disrespectful to, they usually forgive us.
Okay. I hope Schaefer's listening to this.
There's still a chance, Schaefer. There's still a chance.
Yeah, hang in there, Schaefer.
Beating up on Maddox. I
usually ask kids that have brothers and sisters, I say, are you being good? And they say, yes. And I say, are you being nice to your brother or sister? And
that's what you meant.
Blanche, and I say, at least most of the time. Or some of the time. Every once in a while.
1% of the time are you being good to your brother and sister.
That's right.
We have to lower the bar or something.
And then you have to take that and say, okay, expand that a little bit. Do a little bit better next time.
So you guys, you're very gracious. I like that.
We try, yeah. Okay,
I like that. Do you have a preference on the type of lights people put on their trees? Because I like it's funny because I don't take any chances because on my tree at my house I got white lights, and you can see here we've got all the colored lights. So I'm like, all right, I gotta try to impress Santa. I mean, do you have a favorite? I want to just make sure that.
No, I kind of like them all.
Okay.
This is much better than the olden days when we were putting candles on real live trees. So,
What could go wrong there?
And you you kept a bucket of water beside the tree at all times.
Oh man, that must have been before my time even.
Santa knows these things.
So you really won't tell me if Mariah Carey's singing about me? I really, that's the one thing I wanted to know.
Oh dear.
Shuffling through here.
Yeah, I think we've done a really, really good job of getting through these. I mean, I only had one other thing, and I think this one is from Allison as well. She was like, what 3 things would each of you guys bring to a deserted island? I think somebody was trying to go for a very outside the box question,
Or maybe just like a vacation, like.
yeah, like
well, the first thing on that list is cookies.
all right, cookies. Writing that one down. Cookies.
Your second thing better be me.
Second thing is Mrs. Claus.
That's important.
And the third thing is water. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Lots of water. Yeah.
Would yours things be different or no?
No, I plan on packing Santa, and I'd like some fruit along with my cookies.
This has been amazing. I mean, you guys have
Any questions? Yeah.
Do you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
Oh,
Do you think Die Hard is
Rebecca's
a Christmas
coming with the
movie?
fire questions.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
Santa doesn't have time to watch movies. Do you know this, Rebecca?
No. I don't know how Santa spends his free time.
Anybody?
What
James,
free time?
Anybody else?
what questions would your kids ask?
Probably what they're gonna get.
They just want to know.
That'll be a surprise.
A sneak peek on what's coming around the corner.
Does shaking the presents to find out what they are, does that like get you on the naughty list where they might get taken away or something?
No, unless you break it.
Okay.
Don't shake it that hard. Yeah.
My,
Presents show up under the tree before Christmas.
Well, that usually has some help from mom and dad on that one.
Yeah, I feel like those are always my family
Yeah.
presents.
So say not all presents come from Santa. Some presents are mom and dad presents.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea
Grandmas.
of Santa giving gifts is to encourage everybody else to give gifts as well.
have you ever accidentally given the wrong present to the wrong person?
Oh my gosh.
I hope not. There's somebody out there that can probably answer that question. But
Well, especially if they were on the naughty list and you
Yeah.
gave them the wrong underwear.
That's right. That's right.
Could you imagine getting the wrong kind of underwear? You'd be like, oh man, I was really bad this year.
Oh,
Whoa.
Yeah.
You get like really excited and they're like, wait, that wasn't supposed to be right.
That couldn't be me. That couldn't have been for me. No.
Well, I mean, so we're gonna wrap this up in a second.
Okay.
I think this was a lot of fun, but like, is there anything that we can do to help you guys? Like, I mean, our community, Gainesville, like what, we got a lot of Gainesville, the area, businessmen and women listening, their children are listening.
Yeah.
This goes out on the 23rd. I mean, what can we do to help Santa and Mrs. Claus? Anything?
Well, I think for you guys, and I think you do it already, encourage people to wear helmets when they ride their scooters.
Okay.
Oh. Nice.
That's really important, and also bicycles, because that's a serious problem if you have an accident. Your head is very fragile, and particularly college students tend to not wear them, and it makes me sad because somebody's going to get hurt. I know it's uncomfortable and makes your hair look funny, but it's very important.
These are great public service announcements
Right.
coming from Santa
Yeah.
Claus. So, I mean, real quick, because that just kind of sparked something. Like, I mean, in the sleigh, that's got to be kind of a crazy ride sometimes. I mean, like, is there any type of fear of falling out? You got a backup parachute? You got
No, I do have seatbelts, and it works well.
Okay.
And the reindeer are very well trained after this many years.
There you go.
Now, does the sleigh fly on Christmas cheer like they say in Elf? Is that true, or is that just for the movie?
That's confidential.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I worry that there's not enough Christmas cheer sometimes, but you keep delivering every year, so it must be going okay.
There's enough.
Okay.
And you get folks like Colin. He's spots enough for 10 people.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Oh man.
He's gonna be so happy the rest of the day. Thank you so much, Santa.
I mean, I don't think you guys understand and realize how good I actually am.
Does bragging get you on the naughty list? Or no? I mean, I'm just curious.
There's a limit, but yeah. You're okay, Colin.
He's okay for right now.
I mean, is now more things are sparking, right?
Okay.
I mean, is there like a warning thing that I could like sign up for? Maybe like a text
alert?
notification. Yeah. It's like, hey, Colin, like you're on the verge of being put on the naughty list.
Yeah.
You need to back up. Like,
There is.
There is.
Yes, it's called your conscience.
Santa Claus throwing Colin Austin under the bus. Just be a good human, Colin. This has been fun. Did you have a question? No. Okay. No more questions. Well, this was really, really great. I mean, I'm sure I could be. There's probably more on that Facebook post, and I could like go on forever. But thank you guys for carving out the time to come on our show.
The busiest time of the year,
especially during this time of the year, because I know you guys are swamped.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting us.
And have a very safe flight on Christmas Eve.
Do my best.
I'll like maybe try to stay up and like look to the sky. I always look at the moon, and I'm always looking to see if I see that sleigh kind of going across the moon.
NORAD does a pretty good job tracking you.
NORAD does, yes. They're quite good. So.
What, I mean, that's just a web, like that's. I know that's the tracker, but what do you know the website? Is it NORAD.com?
I know you can do it on their Facebook account. But yeah, just Google Santa Tracker.
Google Santa Tracker. If you
that's
want to know where
always
Santa
that's
is on
always
Christmas
fun.
Eve.
Yeah,
that's a ton of fun. Well, again, guys, thank you so much for making the time and coming. Best wishes this Christmas season. Hopefully, you'll come back sometime in the future.
That'd be fun.
Thank you. We'll do it again. I want to say, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You guys, my dream just came true. This is the WHOA GNV podcast, the podcast bringing you businesses and very incredible individuals that make you go
ho ho ho,
ho 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 ho. Have a very Merry Christmas. We love you guys. See you later.
I've been waiting and waiting.
You could have eaten them the whole podcast. We wouldn't have stopped you.
Oh, a taste, yes, please.